All right, we're back here. Still in Sin City selections. We got UFC Fight Night Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. All right, we got the return of Mr. Dillashaw after a lengthy absence for multiple reasons. But we got to get things rolling here. Jody's back. He's at home, nestled in, trying to. And my son and I were on the road. I'm in Detroit, Michigan. Here, we just watched the Detroit Tigers going against the lowly Texas Rangers. So not a good.
Two powerhouses there, Ed. Two powerhouses.
Very interesting. We were sightseeing. We're gonna go back tomorrow and check it out, and then we may head to Chicago and check the Cubs out on Friday. So, and then head back home for some UFC on Saturday.
Nice.
All right, so we got it off. Women's MMA with this one that I'm not really too familiar with these ones.
4 women's fights this Saturday, Ed. 4 women's fights on this card.
Wow. All right, we got Diana Belbiţă versus Hannah Goldie. And I'm assuming it's maybe a little Goldie Hawn look there. She's got the gold hair like Goldie Hawn did and all that. I'm doing a big pass on this fight. It'd probably be a fight that, I don't know, if I had to close my eyes, I would just say fight goes the distance with the girl fight, but I don't know. I'm just doing a straight pass on this. Jody, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I think we missed a golden opportunity, though. Diana Belbiţă opened at a plus 155, and all of the money has come crashing in on her. She's now down to a basically pick'em price. It's a pick'em fight. So if I would have seen that line and had an opportunity to take a stab at it, I probably would have taken that plus 155 and laid a small bet on it. But any and all value is gone now. I'm with you. I'll just kick back and enjoy these two getting after it. And I still think Belbiţă is probably the winner, but there's zero betting value now in this fight.
Yeah, unless something changes, we still got to look at the scale and see what these people look like. But yeah, I'm passing.
Yep.
All right, the next one here.
Golden rule too, Ed. Anyone who has an OnlyFans site, you bet against them. So Hannah Goldie has the OnlyFans site. So.
All right, our next one up here, we got Eubanks versus Reed. I mean, I got a little bit of a take, but it's your turn. You can lead this one off.
Yeah, I think Eubanks, an old Sarge here, I think is the pick, but I would have to wait to see the scales, Ed. I mean, you're talking about Sarge, 36 years old, coming down to 125. And
correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't she miss at that weight?
Usually a thicker 135er.
Yeah.
So now you're getting her down at 125. Now, if Sarge makes weight, doesn't look too sucked out, rehydrates, fills out, she's going to be the much bigger girl in the cage against Reed and probably should dominate her on the mat, maybe even sub her. But boy, if she comes in and misses weight because she really tried and it took a toll on her body, all bets are off. And look at this thing. She started out as a minus 235. It's been steamed all the way up to a minus 325.
Wow. That's
a lot of chalk to lay on a 36-year-old coming down a weight class.
Yeah. She's on a little bit of a skid too. I mean.
Yeah. So this is another hard pass for me, Ed. I'm not touching any angle on this one, but I mean, Sarge should win it. But that that's dropping a weight class, 36 years old, minus 325. That has disaster written all over it.
Yeah, and this Reed here, she's actually from PA. I didn't even realize that. What about in PA?
All of a sudden, you're thinking about taking that 2-1 on your money.
Yeah. Well, look at this. She's undefeated. We can talk ourselves into it, but I think she's actually coming up a weight class. Correct?
Yes, she's a 115er coming up to 125.
I think
she's definitely going to be the smaller girl here.
Yeah, I think this will be a Eubanks win, but as of now, nothing though.
Yeah.
Next one, another one here, a little skeptical on myself. Arce versus Ewell. I'm staying away from it as well. And I really don't want to give any input on it. I don't know if you got anything cooking there.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, money is coming in on Arce. Ewell's one of those point fighters, and he could, stick and move. He's rangy. Arce's had trouble with that type of fighter in the past. If you look, against Hakeem Dawodu there, same thing, same type of rangy striker. I'm not saying Ewell's as strong of a striker as Dawodu is, but yeah, I wouldn't touch this one out. The first 3 fights, Ed, I'm going to sit back, relax, have a beverage, and get warmed up for the real action later.
He does have a nice win here, though. I'm circling that little pointer right there on that one. That's a nice feather in the cap, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
You see this? You see that warning sign I just got up here?
Yeah, I see that.
We're sorry, software drivers can only be run by one user at a time. Please switch to the user who is currently running it. Close the program. I don't know what that's all about. Your internet connection is unstable. Probably because I'm on the Wi-Fi, the house Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the hotel.
Yeah, let's do this here. Yeah, I'm going to try to put up my hotspot. Hopefully I got some middle Verizon that can overtake this. Hopefully we don't lose anything.
Are we on pause?
Should I pause this or?
I think so, because just in case
Let me see here.
we lose connectivity, then you might be able to pick up where we left off.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right now. All right. Hopefully we fix this. I don't know what we had wrong here. A little technical difficulties. I'm blaming it on the Holiday Inn Suites here, which, by the way, don't want to give a commercial ad or anything, a promotion for them, but Priceline, we pricelined it, and it was like $60. We went in, walked in, and the guy said, "Oh, well, whatever your price line was, it's probably gonna be better." So I was like, 68. He goes, "Oh, you're saving $100 because we're charging 168." I'm like, "All right, that's like winning one early. That's a free bet this weekend."
That's right.
Re-rolling a little bit. All right, so back to business. Where were we at? We were at the Dan Ige. I was circling around there, and he had the Dan Ige there. That's a good win. It's a good resume there on that. But these other ones here, it's like, ugh.
He's been away for a year and a half too, Ed.
Yeah, very true.
Andre Ewell's just, you know exactly what you're going to get from him. And, he's a point fighter. If you look at his wins, it's usually a split decision or, the majority of his are split decisions. It's never easy. Yeah. Go down.
I'm staying away.
I mean, here's the thing. You can get plus money on him, but it's not worth it. It's not worth the gamble on Ewell and what he brings to the table. It's a complete pass for me.
Yeah, I agree. Moving on to fight 4. Yanez versus Costa here. I know what I'm kind of leaning towards, but I believe it is your turn.
This could be fight of the night, Ed. This could be fight of the night. Listen, Costa he's a bulldozer the first 3-4 minutes of the fight, and he could knock Yanez out. Yanez is the better technical fighter, and this thing gets into the second or even third round. I don't think it's going to sniff the third round, but it gets into the second round. I think Yanez takes over, KOs him. I placed a big bet tonight already on the fight does not go the distance. That thing, I got it at -210, Ed. So that is a great line for these two guys who are going to meet in the middle of that octagon and throw. So I don't think there's any way this thing goes to the cards. That's the safest bet. The lean is Yanez, but guess what? Yanez is -210 on the money line. I got the fight not going the distance at the same line, -210.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That's my first time to maybe I'll just pick up watching fight 4 there around what time we start? Probably 6 again. So that means about 7:30 this one will be going off around. Yeah, I think fight doesn't go the distance, and no other play on that, because just like you said, you summed it up perfect. Either one can win. Costa can win in the first 2 seconds, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, bumping up the Heinisch versus Imavov, and I'm going Heinisch. I think this is, we kind of chatted there earlier. I think this is not a gimme fight for him because Vegas doesn't print it free out there, but I like Heinisch just for the simple fact of what he has faced. Just recently, he's gone against the who's who.
Gastelum last fight. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, these guys they all got good track records, and he's faced the who's who. It's a step down, I think. Saying that, you never know. You hate to rip on a guy, but I just don't think this guy's in the same category as the other guys. He's got that loss to Phil Hawes here. I did get Jordan Williams, though, who's on here a little bit later. But, yeah, I'm going Heinisch. I'd like to hear what you guys think there.
I love Heinisch in this spot, Ed. I bet him tonight, got him at minus 140. I think it's a big step down in competition. If you saw the Imavov Hawes fight, the problem with Imavov, he had no answer for Hawes' wrestling game. And Heinisch is a far superior wrestler than Phil Hawes.
Yeah.
So, and we talk about it a lot, that we're back in that small cage, grappler's delight. You take that extra 5 feet off and closing the distance and getting it to the ground. I think this is probably easily a 29-28 for Heinisch. Maybe Imavov keeps the first round on the feet and outpoints him. But I think eventually Heinisch wears on him, gets him down, and wins a 29-28 decision here.
Heinisch is a tough kid. I mean,
yep,
he's got that checkered past.
Yep. He has a decent gas tank too for a grappler. He can go for the takedown, and usually he'll keep going after that. That Gastelum fight, he was still scrambling, and he just ended up on bottom there in the 3rd round, cost him the fight. Yeah. But he's still getting after it. And listen, Imavov is no Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going Heinisch. You're going Heinisch. So we got 2 plays back to back here.
Yep.
All right, this one here, this is going to be a good one too, I think. Soriano versus Allen. Your turn.
Yeah, I this thing now is down to a pick 'em. It started out with Brendan Allen being a slight dog, and I don't know, Ed. I mean, this could go a lot of different ways. If you saw Allen in his last fight, he actually looked pretty decent on the feet. I mean, he actually, his striking after seeing that Sean Strickland debacle, he came back and looked pretty strong against Roberson, who's known for his striking ability. Roberson's the one who went for the leg lock, and because of that, Allen tied up the heel hook against him and put him in an unfavorable position. But Soriano looked really good, in his last fight. Who in the world? Off the top of my head, I can't think of the name of the guy he fought, but we were on him for a couple of fights, and he's just looked terrible as of late. Dusko, Todorovic. Yep. So Todorovic, we were on him, thinking he was going to be a really strong fighter, and now he's 2 in a row he's dropped. And I'm not saying Soriano, that wasn't an impressive win, but Dusko's not as good as we thought he was that fight. And it's a complete pass on either side now that it literally is a pick 'em. Yeah. But this is another fight. I think the fight will not go the distance. I took that tonight as well. Minus 250, again, laying some chalk. These 2 guys aren't going to the cards. Soriano's going to KO him, or Brendan Allen's going to sub him. One or the other.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I haven't done anything officially, of course, yet with this one, but I would lean that way. So right now I got to lean on it, think it over. Still got a couple more days here before a decision has to be rendered, but
yep.
I like that. I can't pick a winner out there, but you take a look at Allen here. He does have a nice little resume he built there. You know,
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, Tom Breeze. Who knows what Tom Breeze that was at that time? I think we said that last week too.
Look at the strength of schedule.
Office.
Look at the strength of schedule compared to Soriano. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not close.
That's
And
Strickland. That was the goofy one there. This year's just a grappling belt.
yeah. But I'll tell you, Brendan Allen redeemed himself against Roberson. Roberson's a tough striker.
Yeah, give me. Think about it a couple more days. You can always throw something on there or just post something. We got to get our other social media working better here to give other guys some chances here to capitalize on our good fortune like we had last week. All right, next fight we got Mickey Gall versus Jordan Williams. I think this one mine.
Yeah, yours.
I'm first. I'm not even gonna research it. I guess I already know, but but I'm just gonna go with my gut feeling and not even go into too much depth here. I'm going Jordan Williams just because it is Mickey Gall. Mickey Gall's claim to fame is beating CM Punk. He should have retired then. Went in WWE, and he could have had a nice little career there possibly. But yeah, he could have hung out with Triple H. I think Triple H hates CM Punk, but we'll go Jordan Williams on that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mickey Gall, he lost the decision against Mike Perry when all he had in the corner was his girlfriend. So I don't have much faith in Mickey Gall. Now,
Mike Perry that grappled too.
That's right. I will tell you, I actually bet another fight does not go the distance here. Minus 150, where Jordan Williams on the money line is minus 180. So I think Jordan Williams, if he wins, which he probably will, I think he's going to KO Mickey Gall. And if for some crazy reason Mickey Gall throws up a Hail Mary sub and lands it, then I have that covered as well. But minus 150 for these two guys not going to the cards, I think that's a strong bet.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got fight 8. We got Macy Barber versus Miranda Maverick. Your call.
I love this fight, Ed. So I laid the hand on Miranda Maverick. I think she's the real deal. She doctor stoppage against Jojua, and then just went out and handed Jillian Robertson, just handed it to her. And I just think her striking is crisp. It's more technical, whereas Macy Barber is just wild, out of control. And we saw how Alexa Grasso just pieced her up, just boxed her up. And Macy Barber woke up a little bit in the third round and made it competitive. But Grasso's technical striking was far too much for her. And Maverick brings a lot more power to the table with her technical striking than Grasso did. So
when you look at this loss here.
Yeah, but she had a torn ACL in that fight. But I don't know if you saw the Grasso fight. She was wild, out of control, just looked terrible. And in Miranda Maverick, her fight IQ is strong. I mean, when she's working on like a PhD, or she graduated with a PhD or so. I mean, she's a bright kid. And I just think that she's going to go in and handle business again, just as she's done in her prior 2 UFC fights. And I think she's going to frustrate the heck out of Macy Barber because of just how much more technically proficient she's going to be. I laid the hammer on her at minus 140. She started at minus 160, and because of Macy Barber's reputation, some money came in on her early, and I took advantage of that line.
Yeah, I'm going Maverick too. I'm making that a play as well. Even though sometimes, like I said, women's MMA kind of, there's only one that I like to really. There's two that I feel comfortable with.
Yeah,
they're not on the card, and they're usually too high. And the other one's fighting Bellator.
Yeah,
she's too high too.
But I'll tell you what, Ed. I have a golden rule with women's MMA, and when you have a big athletic disparity, always go with the more athletic girl. Yeah. And I'm telling you, Maverick, more athletic, more technical. She's going to be the stronger girl in there, and you'll see it weigh in. So Barber will be about an inch taller, but Maverick will be thicker and just, more well-muscled, more athletic, and it's going to show in the cage.
Yeah, that's who I like. All right, next fight, Elkins versus Minner.
Yep.
This one's yours.
Yeah, so I like both these guys, actually. I like Darren Elkins. I bet him on his last fight and cashed that ticket. But I'm taking Darrick Minner in this fight, Ed. I love the James Krause Glory MMA backing. I love what he did to Charles Rosa for 3 rounds on the ground. Not many people can out-wrestle Charles Rosa for 3 rounds. And Minner did. And Minner had some sub-attempts and ended up winning a unanimous decision pretty easily. I think it's going to be rinse and repeat. Now, Elkins is a good wrestler too, but Minner did that to Rosa. Minner can do that to Elkins. The other thing, which is, it's funny, Minner's not a huge striker, but it doesn't take much to open Elkins up these days because of all the scar tissue. And that damage doesn't show well for the judges either. So even if this thing's closer than what it looks like, I'm telling you, Elkins' face is going to be covered in blood at the end of the fight. Yeah. Just to some ground and pound when they're in the exchanges and when Minner's on top. I took Minner tonight at -155. I think that's an easy money line bet. I think that's if not a 30-27, it'll be a 29-28. Take it to the window and cash it out.
I'm going to take a direct pass on this fight. Mm-hmm. For the simple fact is, like, I worry about Elkins' age. He's getting older, but his gas tank's good. Seems like it, but you never know. And Minner, I'm still not sold on his gas tank. He's going to go out there and give it, all he can that first round. We know that. In the past, which kind of scares me, is Rosa. Rosa sometimes he kind of just like says, "All right, I'm going to accept this position and let's see what I can do."
He handled your buddy Justin James, though.
So this was a good one here by Minner. That Laramie was coming in. He was supposed to be be whatever there. So I
just think the way that Minner handled Rosa for 3 rounds. So yeah, in the past his gas tank was a little sketchy, but he was still full tank in the third, grappling and just owning top position and dominating that fight.
Yeah, and if you take a look here, here's the.
Yep.
We need to get this win, but it's not a quality win.
That's the one I cashed.
Yeah, not a quality win. So I don't know. If I was going to say, I would probably shade definitely towards the Minner part of it. Yeah. But I'm just going to leave it alone for right now.
And look, even his picture shows his face mashed up.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a little bit.
Every fight, it doesn't matter who he fights. That just his face opens up, and that's not a good look when it comes to the judges.
No, not at all. All right, let's skip on here. We'll get back to the Phillips. He has been showing it good and against Paiva here. I mean, got to be a good fight.
Yep.
No doubt about it. I am going to go with Phillips. He's just been looking smooth. These past 2 fights, I got to side with him. I just like how he's been looking and everything. I mean, but you take a look back here, he's made these improvements. It looks like he's made the adjustments. He's athletic. He's a strong kid. I just think he's got the advantages. Paiva, though, is no slouch either. We take a look.
He lost that fight against Zalgas.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't take a look at the line yet because I haven't bet it, but I will be placing it. Probably. Yeah. What is the line on it?
I bet it tonight at -250.
Yeah, he's definitely. You probably went straight with him. I'm gonna probably filter him in a parlay. Maybe sprinkle a little bit on him, 1 unit on him, just to win 1 unit and stuff. But yeah, he's my play. Phillips is my play. I'm a little tired right now. I had to drive out today, then we had to find everything. But not too much to say. Just got that feeling right now that Phillips got to win it. I'll let you take over
Yeah. I mean, and I actually bet Song Dong against Kyler Phillips in the last fight, and right at the onset of that, I knew I made the wrong bet. I mean, you're right. Phillips just athletic, fast, explosive, smooth, and I'm telling you, I think he beats Paiva anywhere this goes. Phillips can take this thing to the mat and sub him out. Paiva has no ground game, and I just think that he can outstrike Paiva on the feet. But I think a surefire way to victory here is just get this thing to the ground. Just get it to the ground, and then it's pretty much done with. Phillips did open it at -220. I didn't hit that line as early as I would have liked to. Got it at -250. I'll tell you a sneaky play here, Ed. A lot of people are saying this thing's going to go to the cards. You get plus money on the fight not going the distance. You can get that for plus 160 right now. I think Kyler Phillips probably finishes Paiva.
I agree.
And if you like the Phillips side and you're going to pick him anyway, and you want a little better line and still have the Paiva side covered for a finish, take the plus 160 not going the distance. I didn't bet it, but it's a sneaky play. I looked at that line, just didn't pull the trigger. Plus money on that with a fighter like Phillips, who I think probably is going to sub him out in the smaller cage. But I took Phillips to be safe on the money line, -250. I'm pretty confident with it.
Yep, we both agree. I like it when it comes together on that. All right, let's move along here. See the light at the end of the tunnel, and I can see my bed over there. All right, Aspen lad versus old Macy Chiasson. All right, how do we say that one?
Chiasson. Yep.
So I don't know. I'm passing. I'm gonna pass on this one myself, just for the fact that there's some question marks here.
Yep.
How is she going to come back and everything since the layoff and everything. So I'll let you take over there on Aspen there.
Yeah, I placed a bet on Macy Chiasson tonight, plus 175. I think that line's gotten way too wide on a fighter returning from a layoff due to injury, and the fighter that the line is against is the longer, rangier, bigger fighter. I don't know what Aspen Ladd's gonna have to offer here. She's gonna try to march right in there and probably get into some grappling exchanges, I would think. But Chiasson is long. I mean, what is the reach advantage here? 4 or 5 inches, I think. 5'7" versus 5'4" or 5'6", or wait, 5'9" maybe versus 5'6". So
yeah, 66 inches.
Yep.
And we'll see here what Macy's got.
72.
Yep, 72. 5'11", 72. So yeah.
So 5-inch height advantage and another 6-inch reach advantage. And I just think she's the bigger, going to be the stronger fighter. She's the more active fighter because of the layoff that Aspen's had. And my goodness, I mean, how's that injury going to affect her mindset once they start throwing down in the cage? I plus one. This is a pick'em fight for me, and to get plus 175 is too nice to pass up.
You know what? She's 29, and I mean, how good was this win? Miesha Tate kind of took it to her. You know what I mean? There.
Yeah, but everyone's saying Miesha Tate's going to be the next champion after she beat her. So shouldn't we be saying the same thing against Chiasson?
All right. Then we take a look at Aspen here. Here's the thing that's jumping out at me with Aspen. When you take a look, she is the younger, but she's off. But take a look here. She lost this one. This was when she got hurt.
Yep.
Correct? Yeah. Or wait, is this the fight?
No, the next fight. Yeah, after the next fight, she got hurt.
Okay. All right. But let's see. Look, we fought Eubanks. We beat
Sarge twice.
Yeah. So were we trying to inflate something? I know that UFC was trying to push her and everything, but I'm leaning your way, but I'm still gonna pass on.
It's purely a line decision, Ed. Like I said, if this thing were lined up as a pick'em, I wouldn't have bet $1 on this thing.
Yeah.
You give me plus 175 on what should be a heck of a lot closer to a 50-50. I'm going to take the bigger, more active fighter at that plus money.
Yep. All right, the last fight.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Is this one mine or yours? I forget now.
I think it's yours.
All right, we're gonna go Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. I'm just gonna kick back and relax because right now, until I see a weigh-in or whatever, I'm slightly gonna lean on the Sandhagen side, just because he's, obviously he's fought more recently. He has looked good. He had that one little slip up to Aljamain Sterling. Other than that, I mean, you have this Emmers one, but he's pretty dominant. He's got a high gas tank. He's got a high output. If it goes to the cards, he's going to win it probably, just for the fact that he's going to be pounding. But I mean, Dillashaw's got a motor too. His only losses are to some studs here, as we all know. A little Cejudo action, Dominic Cruz.
He was on some pharmaceuticals at the time.
True, very true. And you take a look here. Here's 2 wins, and this is the glass jaw.
Yep.
Cody Garbrandt. So, yeah, I'm definitely sliding on the Sandhagen side. I got to just let it play out and see how they weigh in, see what they look like. But I would say I'm, 75% chance laying on Sandhagen, but nothing official yet.
So I'll be honest with you, Ed. So this opened at minus 170 in favor of Sandhagen. It's now about minus 185. I think this should be a minus 250 fight. Wow. I think Sandhagen, I think he destroys Dillashaw. You're looking at what he did to Frankie Edgar, what he did to Marlon Moraes, and now you're talking about a guy that's been off for 2 years. His wins were on the sauce. He's had 2 shoulder surgeries. What is Dillashaw bringing to the table other than maybe a lot of heart, right? I don't think a lot of heart is going to beat a Cory Sandhagen. And I don't know if you heard this, but Sandhagen used to be one of Dillashaw's training partners, and Sandhagen used to frustrate the hell out of Dillashaw in camp because he couldn't figure him out. So now, fast forward, you have a much better Sandhagen against what arguably you could say is probably the same Dillashaw that he used to train with.
Yeah, he probably hasn't evolved or anything.
And I bet this. I don't think it's going to go anywhere near the cards. I bet the fight's not going to go the distance. Got minus 210 on that. I think it's going to be a violence play. I think Sandhagen KOs him. I think Sandhagen KOs him probably by the beginning of the 3rd round. But covering that side of it again, you do get the random TJ Dillashaw connection because if Dillashaw wins this, it's going to be by finish, Ed. Yeah. So if anyone's going to bet Dillashaw, I mean, that's you got to take the KO line, not just the money line. Yeah. Because there's no way he beats Sandhagen's output, volume, and gas tank in 5 rounds on the card. So I think Sandhagen wins. I think relatively easy, and I think that the bet here, fight not distance minus 210. I already locked it up, and I think you'll cash that ticket pretty easily. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning that same way as well. And don't be surprised if this Sandhagen line doesn't climb to minus 220, 225 by the fight. Because it started at minus 170, it's minus 185 right now. Yeah, you jumping in the parlays, he starts getting higher. Well, that's the thing. And then but wouldn't you rather just take a better line on a money line on him if you like Sandhagen? All right, let's sum it all up here. We'll go over what we have. So the first play for me, we'll go here to this fight here. Fight does not go the distance for me. Next one, I'm going to go right in here, and we're going to go Heinisch. So to win. Skipping this one, not sure just yet. So I got 2 in. We're going to go Mickey Gall versus Jordan Williams. I'm definitely siding on the Jordan Williams side. So that's play 3. Play 4, I'm going to go Maverick. I like Maverick. Skipping this,
jumping here to Kyler Phillips. He'll be my 5th out of this one. And then I'm going to decide on some other ones. But right now I just got those 5. And I might combine a few, like a little smaller unit, half unit or something like that. Throw a couple together in a parlay and see what happens as well. Nothing concrete on the parlays yet, but still miles to go before they say how many more sleeps do we have? I guess
that's right. We got what, 3 more?
3 more sleeps, and we got the weigh-ins are key as well too, so things could change up as well.
Yep.
All right, your turn here. What do you got?
Yeah, I laid a lot of action tonight, actually. My first bet is also Yanez Costa not going the distance. I skipped the first 3 fights. The next one up, I took Ian Heinisch on the money line. Honestly, Ed, I think that's one of the safest bets on the card right there. Ian Heinisch on the money line, especially at the -140, -145. I took the fight not going the distance between Soriano Allen. It's an Allen sub or a Soriano KO, not going to the cards. I also took the fight not going the distance, Mickey Gall, Jordan Williams. I think Jordan Williams most likely KOs him, but I also want that sub opportunity on the Mickey Gall side. I laid the hammer down on Miranda Maverick. I think her at -140, I think is an absolute steal. Considering she opened at -160 and some casual money came in on Macy. I took Darrick Minner straight on the money line. I think that's a pretty easy bet considering this is going to be a grappling match, and Minner, what he showed against Rosa, I think was pretty impressive. I like Kyler Phillips on the money line against Paiva. I think Phillips wins this pretty easily, and I think he can win it by KO. I think he can win it by sub. I think he can win it either way here. I also bet Macy Chiasson at +175. Value's too high to not make that bet. Should be closer to a pick'em to get that kind of line on a live dog like that. I'll take it. And then I also bet Sandhagen Dillashaw not going the distance. I believe it's a Sandhagen KO 2nd or 3rd round, but Dillashaw could also land something big and cause some problems. And the fight not going the distance bet has that covered as well.
All right, I like it. Let's get another profitable week under our belts and help some people out. Hopefully our people that are watching are going to be happy again. I think we made them happy last time as well. So
let's go for 3 in a row, right?
Sounds like a plan. All righty. Signing off from Michigan this time.
Yeah, travel safe.
Motor City.
And enjoy the Cubs tomorrow.
All righty. Sounds like a plan.
All right. See you, everyone.
See you guys later.